Module 32, Actual Size Composition Outdoor. Eminent artist and painter Paul César has rightly said, painting, like any art, comprises a technique, a workmanlike handling of material, but the accuracy of a tone and the fictitious combination of effects depend entirely on the choice made by the artist. In the previous module on actual size composition for indoors, we have learned how to enlarge the original small scale of a mural to a large full scale, and how to mark it and draw it on the plywood base. In continuation this time, we will learn how to actually create the outdoor mural in full scale using a different small sketch which we had created for this mural, having different shapes and motifs. After measuring the dimensions of the small sketch, that is length and breadth of sketch, I, along with the help of my assistant, start drawing the enlarged version of this sketch on the floor by increasing the length and breadth proportionately as per the actual requirement of final outdoor mural composition. As done earlier, I use a measuring tape and chalk to mark the size on the floor. Measurements are carefully calculated and marked on the ground. According to eminent British author and speaker Ken Robinson, creativity is putting our imagination to work, and it's produced the most extraordinary results in human culture. Outlines are drawn with the help of long flat aluminum strip or measuring strip. This way it is easy to mark long lines. Horizontal lines are drawn based on the actual shapes or forms in the original basic design. According to Canadian journalist, author and speaker Malcolm Gladwell, the visionary starts with a clean sheet of paper and reimagines the world. This process needs concentration, judgment, and correct marking and drawing. An eminent American author, Napoleon Hill, has rightly said, first comes thought, then organization of that thought into ideas and plans, then transformation of those plans into reality. The beginning, as you will observe, is in your imagination. According to American poet and philosopher Henry David Thoreau, this world is but a canvas to our imagination. After boldly marking the main shapes on the ground, I place a plywood sheet of about 16 mm in thickness on this sketch drawn on the floor. I start marking on the plywood with the measuring tape and chalk. Different points are marked and lines are drawn with the long flat aluminum strip, creating squarish shapes. According to eminent Dutch artist Piet Mondrian, the only problem in art is to achieve a balance between subjective and objective. Another plywood piece is also placed on the ground and similar lines are measured and drawn with chalk stick. Marking cannot be done easily single-handedly, so that help of an assistant is essential. A small piece of plywood is placed adjunct to the large plywood, leaving some gap in between, and some lines are extended on this plywood also. Squarish shapes are drawn on the second plywood sheet also. According to eminent American realist painter and printmaker Edward Hopper, no amount of skillful imagination can replace the essential element of imagination. Squares are required for enlarging a particular shape, as this is an easy method to enlarge a design or a shape from the original piece. The small plywood piece is also part of the composition and has been marked by me. Another small plywood piece has been kept on the other side of the first large plywood and is being marked in the similar manner. I start drawing the shapes in enlarged form, taking a cue from the original drawing and its prominent shapes. I keep on observing and checking the original design and start drawing out the shapes on the large plywood. Keep in mind the passage of a particular line crossing through a particular square, keeping proportions correct. All bold shapes are marked straight lines, half semicircles, or wall like shapes. According to eminent American naturalist, author, and philosopher John Muir, the power of imagination makes us infinite. An artist should have sufficient drawing skills to draw freely in enlarged version after observing the smaller version. It requires lots of practice and experience to draw in freehand style depending on keen observation and judgment. A renowned Canadian writer and founder of Creativity at Work, Linda Nyman, has rightly said, art provides an opportunity for kaleidoscopic thinking. Each time we shift the lens of our perceptions, we gain perspectives and new opportunities for innovation. Some corrections is required may be suitably made, and lines not required are wiped with a wet cloth. According to legendary Italian painter Leonardo da Vinci, the painter has the universe in his mind and hands. In a similar exercise, shapes are again drawn in freehand style on the second large plyboard. These shapes should resemble with the shapes in the original sketch. According to renowned American author and scholar Phil Cousinho, inspiration comes and goes. Creativity is the result of practice. Enlarging technique should be mastered using the square system. Only very minor variation can be made without disturbing the actual original shapes. A legendary Italian painter, Leonardo da Vinci, has rightly said, painting is poetry that is seen rather than felt, and poetry is painting that is felt rather than seen. In the upper part, small hillock type shapes exist, and my assistant cuts out a similar shape out of a plyboard and placed it at the right position. Using a red oil pastel, I finalized the shapes. On the second plyboard, the other shapes are being enlarged as per the design. There is a gap between two pieces of plywood. I continue to draw some straight lines on the vacant space on the ground. I remove some shapes which are not drawn properly, and I keep on completing the drawing in chalk, rubbing off unnecessary lines. A renowned Polish sculptor and fiber artist, Magdalena Abacknovich, has rightly said, art will remain the most astonishing activity of mankind, born out of a struggle between wisdom and madness, between dream and reality in our mind. An eminent Swiss architect, painter, and artist, Max Bill, has rightly said, I endeavor to make a picture, for instance, exert a positive influence on the observer by its coloring, mood, and compositional idea, encouraging, say, activation, tranquilization, concentration, or harmony. More hill-like shapes are added to the first plywood piece on top by placing a piece of long and narrow plywood. Lines are quickly drawn in freehand style and wrongly drawn shapes are wiped out, and correct ones are finalized by redrawing with red oil pastel. Take your time to draw the shapes correctly and don't just hurry. It will spoil the whole mural composition. All correct shapes should be marked with colored oil pastel. According to eminent American artist and educator Coretta Kent, creativity belongs to the artist in each of us. To create means to relate. The root meaning of the word art is to fit together, and we all do this every day. Not all of us are painters, but we are all artists. Each time we fit things together, we are creating, whether it is to make a loaf of bread, a child, a day. A renowned Canadian writer and founder of Creativity at Work, Linda Nyman, has rightly said, art making has an alchemical effect on the imagination. It awakens the senses and sharpens insights, teaching us to think in symbols, metaphors, and to decode complexity so we can perceive the world in new ways. This process should continue on all pieces of the plywood. According to the need of the design, I place another small piece of plywood on the top of the large side and the shapes. In this also hillock type shapes are drawn with chalk and finalized in red oil pastel. Markings in red oil pastel color are necessary as otherwise the line drawings in chalk may get wiped out or blurred while cutting the shapes.